It was wild. People had no clue what was going on. And all of a sudden you would see this whole crowd kind of going into a trance-like state. And the first reaction was that people were just on drugs. And I said, it can't just be the music, but it was the music. People dance, they're happy. You can say that it is a global phenomenon. So my name is Serge Jonnaert. I was born in Belgium in 1964. Grew up in Ghent, which is the area where new beat and house music started.
Als u geen geregeld discotheekganger bent, kent u waarschijnlijk niet de allerlaatste dansrages. En dan is het fenomeen van de housemuziek misschien wat vreemd.
Throughout my teenage years, we were a very musical house. I was also involved with 2 radio pirate stations. I used to DJ from time to time, more for fun than anything else. The 80s were very cool. It was very transitional. Of course, in terms of music, we had MTV. You also still had most of Europe that was behind the Iron Curtain. It was both a period of a lot of turmoil, but of course was a lot of fun new stuff as well. I mean, growing up in the downtown area, there was a lot of clubs. They had some DJs there that were really experimenting synchronization of low frequency beats with the heart rate. That's a build up and the kick and the drop. Those were things that didn't have terms back in those days. There was one club, it was called the Boccaccio, and it was in the middle of nowhere, but it was a mega club. That's kind of where this whole concept of rave parties and all, where that came from. In terms of drugs, in that downtown core area, you kind of start to know all the characters in terms of who uses and who deals. The more raids you had, the more you had kind of a scene moving from one club to another club, and they called that the after party. And then when that club then got shut down in the wee hours of the morning, then everybody moved to yet another club, and that was the after club. Not only was the police doing raids because they thought there was a lot of drugs involved, they also had the TV.
Petmiddelen of de zogenaamde discodruk ecstasy. Ze dansen op elektronische muziek met een sterke, dreunende beat. Het fenomeen heet house.
Over the years it got a little crazy. People would just go out from Friday night all the way till Monday morning. That is ultimately why some of these places were then shut down. I left Belgium when I was 25. Well, I mean, I think it's a phase that you go through, right? I mean, through your teens and your early 20s, it's all about the experience and having fun and exploring. But needless to say, I mean, in your mid-20s, you go into that next phase of your life. So I think that was a natural progression. I still like some of the early tracks. I mean, it definitely has a cool aspect to it. I don't mind listening to it while I'm driving in the car, especially in dense traffic. Not only would you hear it, but you would feel the music, because you would feel that low frequency hitting you all the time.
Did you wear earplugs back then, or did people do that?
No. There is definitely some hearing damage over time. I would say everybody that kind of grew up in the 70s, 80s and 90s, of course, I think was still seeing the effects of the damage of that now. But of course, some of the newer tracks are so much more complex, so much more interesting. Music always has played a role in our lives. It sets a mood in that ability to creating a trance-like state, that it had this other dimension. So compared to rock or jazz or any other music, nothing gets it to that level as to what house music does.